the show in Liverpool. We're now up to almost 50% of the tickets being gone in the first 10 days to 2 weeks. If you want to come along and see us, you can get your tickets with the link pinned to the top of the chat or in the description of the stream. When these sell out, if indeed they do, we're not moving it to the bigger theatre. We want this one. This is the one we've wanted to do all along. It's an all ages event, and we're going to have a musical act, a comedian, and then us on for the night. We're going to make sure we put on a bigger, better, noisier show than the last time, and we really appreciate those who've already got their tickets and look forward to coming over to Liverpool November 15th. Essex Copite said, I have a question, Craig. If we get a centre-back and stick with Gravenberch and give Morton a shot, would you be happy? What I think is, if Morton wasn't at least good, why would teams like the German champs want them? So, really, really good point and a really good question. So, I have to admit that I do have a little bit of bias because Morton has been in the Championship on a couple of loans. And I've always thought, is he really at that level for Liverpool? But here's the kicker for me. We wanted Zubimendi. So whatever else we're going to say, the club wanted to go and strengthen in that position for whatever reason. I don't believe that over the course of a couple of weeks, Tyler Morton will have changed opinion on that. So I still think we do need to bring in that central midfielder. You are absolutely correct that if these clubs want him, the kid obviously must have something about him, which is a very fair point. And I'm open to him getting minutes this season if he stays. I still just feel we need that right here and now. Drop him into that midfield. Good enough to play the minute he arrives. Number 6, specialist. That's how I am on this one. But if over the course of the year Morton gets his chances, takes his chances and looks good enough, then maybe missing out on Zubimendi will have been a blessing in disguise. But there's a lot of mental gymnastics to get over there first, and a lot of hypotheticals, and a lot of hoping everything goes well. Hoping hasn't worked out well for us in the past, so I'm a little bit skeptical, but I do fully appreciate where you've come from. And with the centre back, I think we need one right now. That will be the top priority for me, centre back, and then the number 6, because we've got bodies in midfield. We don't really have bodies and depth at centre back. We know Nat Phillips isn't good enough. Gomez, we don't know what's going to happen there. But even at 4, even with Gomez, Canade, Virgil and Kwanzaa, I still think you're a little light. I'd like one more. Victor said, what do you think of Kimmich? 5 months, let's go. Well, firstly, thank you, Victor, for being with us for that 5 months. Kimmich is a solid... Look, you know what? To go back to Essex Copite's question, if you brought in a Joshua Kimmich as an example, somebody who's at the latter part, not the very end, but the latter part of their career, that wouldn't block the pathway longer term for somebody like a Tyler Morton. So that could be an understandable solution. Again, it feels like we're coming back to a cheaper solution here, like with Endo last year. It could serve a purpose, it could do a job. But in this case, if we're really talking about Tyler Morton maybe being good enough, then I think a Kimmich would at least give us that chance to look. I hope that makes sense. It did in my head. Anyway, Victor, it did in my head. Craig, I hope you're well. Formerly Team Shark Meg. I remember that name. Hard to change that. I worry with Gravenberch leaning on the job, on the job in the number 6, especially versus top teams. So, there's a lot of people who've been talked into people being good enough over the last few weeks. I go back to the start of this summer's transfer window, when all of these players were assessed and decisions were made that some of them are good enough and some of them weren't. And whatever way we want to dress it up, Ryan Gravenberch is not the absolute perfect number 6 that Slot wanted, or we wouldn't have gone in for Zubimendi. He couldn't be moulded into it. He could certainly do a job there, but my view is we wanted a central midfielder. We need to get a central midfielder, and nothing I've seen over the last month has changed my opinion on that, nor the centre-back situation. So let's not fall into the trap of being overly optimistic, but again, there is something to be said about not being completely pessimistic. I just feel like, again, we're talking cheaper options, solutions from in-house, when that was never the talk at the start of the window. So I feel like some people have maybe talked themselves into it, coupled with the 6 points from 6 in the league. I'm not there yet. I still think we need the positions personally. Right, so I'm going to end this poll where we asked, are you happy if Chiesa and Georgie Mamardashvili are the only signings in this window? 76% with 4,190 votes cast have said no, they would not be happy. And 75% there now. So 3/4 of Liverpool fans who are watching this stream right now and vote feel no, they wouldn't be happy. And I'm definitely in that 75%. Now, I try to be balanced and fair. On their own merits, like I've said many times, I'm happy with Chiesa and Mamardashvili. But I still want us to do what we need to do in this window. And let's see what the next 48 hours brings. Kimmich, maybe that's possible, I don't know. I've read mixed things coming out with Germany. Some that he's won around Vincent Kompany and he may get some opportunities. Others that he may move. What we know for certain is this. Stefan Bajcetic is going out on loan. Owen Beck has joined Blackburn on loan for the season. There's still a hope and belief that maybe Nat Phillips could depart before the window shuts. Tyler Morton looks like... See, here's the thing again with Tyler Morton I forgot to mention. If we are of the belief that he's going to be good enough, why are the clubs still open to selling him? Because the only reason that he's not going to Leverkusen is that it's a loan. Liverpool are open to selling him for 20 million plus. So that's why I fail to believe that the club, in their heart of hearts, look at him and think he's the solution. Because he wouldn't have a price tag. He wouldn't be available to be sold if we were so sure that he was going to be that next big thing. And that is why I don't drink the Kool-Aid that's being handed out at the minute, put it that way. There was an option to buy. No, there wasn't. Not in the Leverkusen deal. Not in the one they proposed to Liverpool. Liverpool are open to selling him, but they want a commitment. Not a loan with an option. They want, if you take him now, you're buying him. If you leave Liverpool Football Club, it's going to be on a permanent deal, even after a year's loan. So that's where we're at with him. Options, it has to be cast iron. Liverpool want to guarantee that, okay, we understand that maybe your club finances are as such that you need to kick the can down the road a little. Fair enough, but we'd have to... Liverpool want a guarantee that that deal's going to happen. So, GG lads, how are you, my man? Said, long time watcher of your content. Don't understand the Bajcetic move. Surely he's our best young option at 6. Weird. So, I think look at it like this. The most important thing for Stefan Bajcetic this season is minutes, minutes, minutes. That's the priority. He missed an entire year last year. So can we guarantee him the playing time to get him back up to full fitness and match sharpness and give him the experience? The answer is most likely no. So then you look around and you think, right, if we loan him out, is he going to get experience that will be valuable to Liverpool? He's going to go to Salzburg, where Pep Lijnders knows all about him. They're in the Champions League. They qualified last night through the qualification round, and they're into the group stages. So he's going to get really good experience. He's going to get a lot of playing time. He'll probably play week in and week out. And then we'll get to see how his body reacts to the rigours of a full season again. I don't think we have the luxury of being able to give him the time. So that's why I think it's a good move. There's no potential whatsoever of a sale. That's not being discussed in any of these deals for Bajcetic. I think a loan move is the right way to go because we can't give him the minutes. We just can't.